Good morning students. Today we will discuss mathematics of class 10 chapter 1. Topic is real number. In the previous class we already discussed about the Euclid's division algorithm and lemma. But today we will discuss about fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Fundamental theorem of arithmetic says that every composite number can be expressed as the product of the prime numbers, and this factorization is unique apart from the order of prime numbers. It is a unique means the factorization of any number contains same type of primes, like 20. When we consider the number 20 and want to factorize this 20, we will get 2 into 2 into 5. We can write that 20 is equal to 2 into 5 into 2, 5 into 2 into 2, but in every process, in every factorization, we will get same primes like 2 2 and 1 5. It is irrespective of the order of the primes which are occurring in the factorization. According to this fundamental theorem of arithmetic, we know which primes will come in the factorization and which primes are present, which are not present in a factorization. On the basis of this fundamental theorem of arithmetic, we can prove whether a number ends with the digit 0 or not. Let's an example here. We have to check whether this 4 to the power n can ends with the digit 0 or not. A number is given here 4 to the power n, where n is any natural number, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. For any value of n, whether this number ends with the digit 0 or not. Generally, when a number ends with 0, then that number must be divisible by 10. When a number divisible by 10, then that number must have the factors 2 and 5 both. If a number has factor 2 and 5 both, then we can say directly that number will be divisible by 10, and that number will add with 0. When we factorize this 4 to the power n, we will get 2 into 2 whole to the power n. 2 into 2 whole to the power n gives 2 square to the power n, and this 2 square to the power n gives 2 to the power 2n. 2 to the power 2n. In this case, this 2 to the power 2n contains or it consists of the prime 2. Here, with this factorization, we will get the prime 2. According to the uniqueness of fundamental theorem of arithmetic, the factorization of any number is unique. Means the factors which are coming in the factorization of a number, they are fixed. It is unique. So, in this factorization, we can see only 2 but not 5. 5 is not present here. Since this factorization contains only 2, So it doesn't contain any other number except this 2. So it doesn't contain 5. Since it has only 2, not 5 is present there. So this number can never end with 0 for any natural number n. Here we will discuss about the process how to find the LCM and HCM of numbers, maybe more numbers by factorization method. Here question is find the HCM and LCM of 60, 80 and 120. Here we have to find the HCM and LCM of 60, 80 and 120 by factorization. So here we will factorize all the numbers what are given here. That is given 60, 80 and 120. Right? 60, 80 and 120. Next, we will factorize this 60 as 2 into 2 into 3 into 5. 2 into 2 into 3 into 5 can be also written as 2 to the power 2 into 3 into 5. Next, 80 can be written as 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 5. Here, this can be written as 2 to the power 4 into 5. Now 120. 2 into 2 into 2 becomes equal to 2 to the power 3 into 3 into 5. Here, we factorize all the numbers which are given here 60, 80 and 120. This 60 is expressed as 2 to the power 2, 3 to the power 1 and 5 to the power 1. Nothing is there mentioned, means it is 1. Next, this 80 can be expressed as 2 to the power 4 into 5 to the power 1. Next, 120 can be expressed as 2 to the power 3 into 3 to the power 1 into 5 to the power 1. Now, we find the LCM of all these numbers. Here, LCM of 60, 80 and 120. HCF, that is highest common factor. First we have to know which factors are common here. Which factors are common in all these three factorizations? Which factors are common among these 60, 80 and 120? First, we can see 2 is present in all these factorizations. Next, 5 also present in all the factorizations. In between these two numbers, 3 present, but in the middle number, 3 is not present. So, 3 is not common in the factorization. So, the common factors are 2 and 5. Next, it is highest common factor. What is the highest number of 2s are common in all these factorizations? Yes, it comes 2 times, it comes 4 times, it comes 3 times. So maximum times it is coming as 2. Next, Common is 5. Yeah, in all these cases, all these factorizations, 5 is coming only once. So, we can write that 2 to the power 2 into 5 to the power 1. This becomes equal to 2 to the power 2, 4 into 5, 20. Yeah, LCM of 60, 80 and 120 is 20. Next, we have to find the LCM of 60, 80 and 120. First we have to take the common factors, that is 2 and 5. What remains we have to write down. First we take 2, then 5, then 3. Next, the maximum time 2 is coming as 4. We write 2 to the power 4. Maximum time 5 is coming as 1, so it is 1. And this 3 also comes as 1. It's 1. Now this product is 240. 2 to the power 4 into 5 into 3 is 240. The LCM is 240. Yeah. Now we will verify the product of LCM and LCM become equal to the product of two numbers. When we consider any two numbers, then the product of that LCM and LCM of both the numbers become equal to the product of those two numbers. We can verify by taking two numbers like 80 and 100. We will verify this relation by taking these two numbers 80 and 100. This 80 can be written as 2 into 2 into 2 into 5. This is equal to 2 to the power 4 into 5. 100 can be written as 2 into 2 into 5 into 5. This is equal to 2 to the power 2 into 5 to the power 2. Now we can find the LCM of 80 and 100 and LCM of 80 and 100. The LCM of 80 and 100. Just look, both are factorization. 2 to the power 4 into 5 to the power 1 here. 2 to the power 2 into 5 to the power 2. First, we have to consider the factors which are common in between this factorization. In both the factorization, there are present 2 and 5. The maximum number of 2's are common here. There are present 4 2's, there are present 2 2's. The common is 2 2's. There are present 1 5, there are present 2 5's. So it is 1. This LCM is 20. Now we have to find the LCM of 80 and 100. LCM. Here the common of 2 and 5. Maximum number of 2's coming here 4. And maximum number of 5 coming here 2. This becomes 2 to the power 4 into 5 to the power 2. Is 400. Here the LCM is 4 multiply both the HCF and LCM. The HCF into LCM becomes equal to 20 into 400, which is equal to 8,000. When we multiply both the HCF and LCM, HCF is 20, LCM is 400, and the product will be 20 into 400 becomes 8,000. Now, product of both the numbers, that is 80 and 100. The product is 80 into 100 is 8,000. The product is 8,000. Therefore, HCF into LCM becomes equal to product of numbers. It is verified. Here we will discuss about irrational number. Revisiting of irrational number. Irrational number means any number which can't be expressed in the form of p by q, where p and q both are integers and q is not equal to 0. And another condition also, both p and q should be co-prime. Here any number which can be expressed in the form p by q, where p and q both should be integers and p and q both should be co-prime. Both should be integer and both p and q should co-prime. And this q should not equal to 0. Here p and q should be integers and should co-prime, but this q will not equal to 0 if this number which is expressed in p by q satisfies all these three conditions. Then we say that number is rational number. If the number can't satisfy all these three conditions, then the number is said to be irrational number. If that number, if this p by q can not satisfy any of these three conditions, then also the number is said to be irrational. We have to consider root 2, whether this root 2 is rational or irrational. If it is irrational, then how can we prove it irrational? Then the question is, prove that root 2 is irrational. Here, we have to prove this root 2 is irrational. How to prove it? In this case, we have to follow contradiction method. Contradiction method means first we have to assume the number something equal to which is just opposite what it is given. Like it is given to prove this root 2 is irrational, and we have to assume this root 2 is not irrational. If it is not irrational, we can take it rational. Let us assume here. Let us assume that root 2 is rational. Since it is assumed, it is considered root 2 is rational, then this root 2 can be expressed in the form p by q, where this p and q both are satisfied the condition for rational number. Like P and Q are integers. Q is not equal to 0 and P and Q are co-prime. What is a co-prime? Co-prime is when the HCF of any two number is 1. When the common factor of any two number is 1, they are said to be co-prime. It is not depends upon whether the numbers are prime numbers or composite numbers. Maybe two prime should be co-prime, maybe two composite number also co-prime. Here, this root 2 is expressed in the form of P by squaring both sides. When put the squares in both sides, we will get root 2 square is P by Q whole square. This implies root 2 square is 2 is equal to P square by Q square. The 2 is equal to P square by Q square. Then 2Q square becomes equal to P square. This implies P square is equal to 2Q square. Since the value of P square is equal to 2 into Q square, the value of P square is multiple of 2. Since it is multiple of 2, then this P square will be divisible by 2. It shows here P square is divisible by 2. So P is also divisible by 2. Since P square is divisible by 2, then P is also divisible by 2. Take this statement as equation 1. Since P is divisible by 2, then the value of P must equal to 2 into some integer. This implies P is equal to 2 into C, where C is any integer. Here we got P is equal to 2 into C, then squaring both sides. When we put square in both sides of this statement, we will get P square is equal to 2C whole square. P square is equal to 2C whole square. This implies P square is equal to 4C square. Here the P square of the value of P square is 2Q square. We can put in place of P square as 2Q square. Here 2Q square is 4C square. Now take this 2 to one side. It becomes Q square is 2C square. Now we can see that the value of Q square is equal to 2 into C square. 2 into something here. Since this term is a multiple of 2, so this Q square is also multiple of 2. If Q square is multiple of 2, then Q square will be divisible by 2. Here Q square is divisible by 2. Since Q square is divisible by 2, so Q is also divisible by 2. Consider this statement as equation 2. Now compare equation 1 and equation 2. Here, equation 1 gives P is divisible by 2 and that both P and Q are divisible by 2. Here P and Q both are divisible by 2. So they have common factor 1 as well as 2. This implies P and Q are not co-prime. Sure, P and Q are not co-prime, but it is assumed P and Q are co-prime. Now this statement is wrong what it is assumed here. It contradicts our assumption. It contradicts our assumption. So root 2 is not rational. Therefore root 2 is false. Now we have to prove any number as irrational, right? Prove that 3 root 2 minus 5 is irrational. Now we will prove this 3 root 2 minus 5 is irrational. In this case, again we will follow the method of contradiction. Let us assume to the contrary that 3 root 2 minus 5 is rational. Sure, we will assume the number what it is given us to prove irrational, we assume it as rational number. Here 3 root 2 minus 5 is rational. Since this 3 root 2 minus 5 is rational, then we can assume this 3 root 2 minus 5 is in the form P by Q, where P and Q both are integers, P and Q both are co-prime, and this Q is not equal to 0. Here it will satisfy all the conditions by P and Q, which are integers, Q is not equal to 0, and P and Q are co-prime. Now we take this minus 5 towards right. Here 3 root 2 equal to P by Q plus 5. This implies 3 root 2 is, here the LCM is Q, numerator P plus 5Q. This implies root 2 becomes equal to P plus 5Q by 3Q. In the statement, the right side contains P, Q, 3 and 5. It is already considered the P and Q here both are integers and the Q is not equal to 0. So in the right side there present 3, 5, P and Q. All the factors are integers and the denominator is not equal to 0. So this part, the right side of this statement is rational number. Since this right side is rational, which equals to root 2, then root 2 is also rational. Here 3, 5, P and Q are integers and Q is not equal to 0. So P plus 5Q by 3Q is rational. This implies root 2 is also rational, but it is fact that root 2 is irrational. But it is fact that root 2 is irrational. Here we got root 2 is rational, but the fact is root 2 is irrational. So this statement contradicts our assumption here. Therefore, it contradicts our assumption. What we assume here that 3 root 2 minus 5 is rational. It is assumed here, but this statement is wrong. This statement is contradicted. Therefore, 3 root 2 minus 5 is irrational. Now we will discuss about the rational number. When we express that rational number in decimal form, what type of decimal form we will obtain from that number? First case, when a number x is here, which is expressed in the form p by q, if we convert this number in decimal system, what type of decimal form we will get here? Now we will look the value of q, where this q is factorized and comes in the form of 2 to the power m into 5 to the power n. Then the decimal part will be terminated. This number gives a terminated decimal expansion here, as like 31 by 10. If we consider 31 by 10, then in place of p it is 31, in place of q it is 10. It can be expressed as 31 by 2 into 5. Now in the denominator, it is expressed in the form 2 to the power n into 5 to the power n. Here m and n should not be negative numbers, both should be non-negative numbers. 2 to the power 1, 5 to the power 1. So in this case, we get the terminated decimal expansion for this number 31 by 10. Here, this becomes equal to 3.1. Since the value of q is expressed in the form 2 to the power n into 5 to the power n, so we will get here terminating decimal expansion. Here the decimal part is terminated, but if a number x which is in the form p by q, but q is not expressed in the form 2 to the power n into 5 to the power n, where the denominator q is not in the form 2 to the power n into 5 to the power n, then the number gives non-terminating and repeating decimal expansion, like 29 by 35. 29 by 35. In place of p that is 29, in place of p it is 35. It is 29, 35. It's factorized as 5 into 7. Here, in the factorization of the denominator, it gives 5 and 7, not in the form 2 to the power n into 5 to the power n. So in this case, we get non-terminating repeating decimal extension.